choose with me.
Shadows stretch across the day. Your memory won't fade away.
I still hear the words you said in the quiet of my head. Tried to hold you through the storm, but the silence took your form.
You were never just a phase. You were always light through
Every night I feel you near. In the spaces you left clear, we were fire under rain, dancing through the joy and pain.
even if we broke apart, you still let go in my heart. We were wild, we were true, and I'm still dancing for you.
sing the echo, one beat behind. You're a silhouette in strobe, a memory dressed in indigo. City pulse beneath our skin, where the static in the spin. Eyes closed, we drift beyond the now into the myth. Fire in the sky, we come alive in all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into UWG Esports Overwatch 2 for the NACE Varsity Plus Homecoming. My name is Caleb Pope, aka Chase of Spades. I'll be your solo caster for the evening as we get ready to go UWG Wolves versus the KC. It's going to be Kansas City for all you who don't know the acronyms, because I did. Now I will say, just to kind of cover us, right? When I first looked up their name, it first said Brew Knights, and then I looked up their Instagram and it said Gameroos. So, for the purposes of this broadcast, we're gonna go with Gameroos, okay? So, UWG Blues versus Kansas City Gameroos. And we're gonna be getting started here. First on control point on Ligier Tower. It's one of my favorite maps. It's just so random and fun to be on. Got UWG getting on to point pretty early on here, trying to defend it from the inside out here. You see Seth from the Gameroos are going to get first blood here onto CO. Levi makes it really good back here. You see, again, we're getting a lot of this back and forth here with Dax and Gabi. Levi are all going to clean up there for UWG. First points on the board for the Wolves here. So we get that percentage ticking up here. Gabi going a little bit into the spawn there, trying to get rid of that Reaper. But Levi's going to go ahead and handle business for him. Yeah, have Zio here hanging out by the wall. He's doing a really good job of keeping him back. And towards the spawn here. Drops that pulse bomb. Good pick there by Dami. He is going to get the trade there. On. On's going to get that one. Zio picks up Zeph. Keeping him at bay. Oh, blocked. Gives it right back to Zio with a pulse bomb of their own here. Megan's trying to do what he can to survive here. Not going to be able to do it against that Tracer. Just too fast, too much damage. Really avoid here. I see Tracer. He's trying to go for the damage. Not going to be able to connect. Got the teammates there back up here. Eli. Trying to put in some work right here by himself, but Karma just doing up way too much damage. Those doubles from Reaper. Zeph is going to take out Zio, and Dax will get a singular boot off edge with Karma. Counter retreating back, picking up the teammates to go for a push. But Brew Knights, Gameroos, I'll use them interchangeably, are going to get their first percentage on the board here after UWG got a solid 55 to start with. Plenty of places here. Got two ready, two here. We got Brew Knights going to go ahead and use that Moira ult, just trying to keep their teammates in the fight here. Tracer's really low, making a really good job. Levi in the battle here with Zarya. Good picks there by Zio, using that ult from Levi, getting that black ult. Able to get them all into one spot here for Dax to pick those up. Oh, tried to TP out there. Not really going to be quite far enough, Moira. UWG back 62% now. And counting, trying to get that first round win on the board early on. Set the tone a little bit.
Let's get into a healing.
Yeah, Dax trying to guard that bridge, but they're going to decide to go backside this time. Good ultimate there from both parties, but that weak drop will keep them plenty in the fight. Dami, Levi, Zio, all getting one each, trying to work on this Zarya. Levi will be the one to pick up the clone on Zeph and Megan's big haunt in the back line there. He's going to full down site right here. You got Lucio just trying to get on point and touch at 97%. Ooh, good wave there from Karma. Or, I'm sorry, from Biggins onto Karma. Levi's going to get that one, and that one's going to be a pretty done deal. Tracer's still trying to get a little bit of touch here, but it's just not to be. Zio trying to chase him down, but not going to get that last kill. But 1-0 to start out with here. UWG on a pretty solid roll. That was a really solid attack, including a retake there when they lost it. Now the Runites are doing
A friend of mine has
pretty
a massive
good. It
collection
seems
of
like
vintage
majority of
vinyl.
their issue seems
That's
to be
sick.
a target.
If they want, I can
So,
send them some stuff too.
you know, I mean, Tracer is absolutely phenomenal. Haunt was doing really good trying to target, you know, the more squishy supports in the back. The main issue that I think they have is that, you know, Wudong is pretty easy to pin down. Get him solid by himself. Lucio with Dax is a pretty different story. Man's essentially part for part. I swear if CSGO search was a person in Overwatch, its name starts with 12 seconds here. Dax is going to get first blood off this round onto Moira. Again, support for support, very in line with Dax's goals here. Cio is going to pick up 2 and Levi with 1. And again, UWG will take a pretty easy first sight lead. Dami's going to get knocked out there in the back line again by Haunt. Again, the Tracer plays on both sides of the field really good. Basically just trying to target whatever solutions are going to hit a whole lot. Cio again takes out Moira. Haunt again pays it to Dami, but Levi and Dax are both going to pick up 1. You got Tracer trying to just, again, touch sight. Do a little bit of damage, waste some time, but Zio's not letting him have it. Using that long shot perk to go ahead and take that one out. That's going to cause them to reset yet again. 35% now for UWG. Just trying to keep them active. Again, we're really locked in get these close quarters battle. This is not where you want to be if you are the Kangaroos. 2 picks there, Zeph. With their tank down, it's better off just going and reset again. Plenty of damage there by Zio. Higgins is going to be able to pick up Haunt again. Maybe they were in a little bit of an engagement there towards the back line.
Let's get into a healing
But yeah, with all that damage output going out, you don't want to be where you can't really move. I mean, these big old middle funnels you start getting stuck in. It's really good, but without your tank in front, it's start getting really rough. Good ultimate there by Zio. 2 picks on Death Blossom and 1 more for good measure. Looking for 4. He'll manage to pick up that one. Levi with the assist onto Haunt. 82%, 83. You can pretty much solidly wrap this one up. They're trying to push up. But Levi, Zio just doing way too much damage. Tosses out the ult. Gonna have a last ditch effort there by Lucio to drop B, but it's just not going to do anything. 99% and 2-0. UWG will take the first game of play control on Lijiang. Solid victory there by the Loops. Get ready here for game 2. Zio with a very deserving play of the game. Up over there, right again along with Moira. Pick up that 4K and a 15-player KS. So that was game 1. Wolves pick it up there to start off with an early lead, a really fast 2-0 game on Lijiang, and we'll get ready for game 2 coming up right here soon. Don't go anywhere.
We float in frames of color between the static hum. The silence speaks and stutters, and beats that never come. Time folds inside your voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into UWG Esports. Really good start there for the Wolves, starting out here 1-0 against the UMKC Gameroos. Or Reunites. If I keep saying both, I can never be wrong. But we're going to be starting out here on Hybrid, on Hollywood. Arguably one of my more favorite maps. It's totally not for the random viewer who says random
The
things
system's not working.
whatsoever.
High time to try something new.
So after a really solid start there from UWG, honestly just trying to kind of keep that momentum going here. We did have two very harsh bans, Lucio and Reaper, two bans this time around. So, you know, I wouldn't really say it was a crutch play, as I was reading in the text chat. But, you know, it is really, really harsh on both sides. But, I mean, hey, we'll see how it goes here. Gameroos get a really strong start here, being very aggressive. You got pretty much the same setup on both sides. You got Pesky, Rocket, with that longer range on top of the game, trying to place a game for a little bit of support here. They're kind of built for the fight. Zeno picking up 2, Zeno on the road, gonna pay it right back. And UWG is currently trying to hold down the point here, just contest a little bit, but they're doing what they can with one support and one DPS. They don't have a tank right now, but the team's starting to climb back up here. Zeno picks up 1, and that will clear the site off for the moment. Gameroos still managed to get 1 tick in, so 2 more to go. They're getting pretty close, so maybe a little bit of adjustment here needed by the Wolves, but they're holding on to it. Again, haven't we seen on that play? Got UWG doing their best, trying to hold on to it, doing really, really well, using that dot track to drop an Ash. Kind of hazarded day at the moment. Plenty of damage here. Zio just really knocking up damage with those shots here. UWG already has 2 ults hanging out there and ready for it. 3 down. He's obviously going to go ahead and use that pulse bomb. No point really saving it. And they will manage to pick up Karma there. Higgins and Levi pick up 2 of their own. Onto Moira and Ruse Hazard. So good work there by UWG. Again, holding on to this archway really strong. Not really letting them get past here. And again, we see the Wolves just doing this thing. Kind of just poke a little bit of forward. Got that triple dash there, using the recall. Obviously, go ahead and get out of dodge. Trying to run back here. There to hold the ground. A little bit more. It really is just like a clone battle. See 2 Tracers going at it back to back. Pesky picks up Karma. Zio takes out Rico, and that's going to be 2 very strong picks there. Zio again takes out Search. Zio just doing massive damage, as he should. Yeah, kind of in the job description. But honestly, I think. Oh gosh. Again, Zio headshot with Karma. Now, honestly, we're looking at this, you know, a little lopsided right now. And I don't want to seem like say it is pretty much a solid done deal fight, but I really think, you know, if I was working within Kansas right now, I honestly liked try to use the in-between at some point after the round. I mean, this is gonna be like UWG is. I mean, come on. Usually most people manage to at least in the last maybe like 60 seconds or so cap on site. But UWG is always very strong as they got 3 bullets in their pocket for now. They're dominating. There it is. You're gonna see Rally come out there last 13 seconds again. Pierce is gonna try to recall just too much damage but he got here. He got the distraction his best, but that Rally was just way too strong to get everybody in the fight. Levi also used their ult along with Geo. So between 3 ults,
Are you taking me seriously?
not enough time. Tracer might have been able to touch and stop it, but there's just no way. Honestly, if I'm you know, we're trying to be also constructive. Hindsight's 2020. But what they were doing wasn't exactly working. I think there was just not enough damage output going out, and they seemed to be trying to go more brawler, aim for a bit of a dive, and every time they were diving, they were just getting met right back with the same thing, and it's just not clicking. So being able to, you know, take the L pretty early on and hot swap to maybe something that can dish out a bit more damage at some range, or at least do something, because the up close and personal game just was not working. I wouldn't have said go anything too crazy. You didn't really need to like switch to anything like but maybe a Sojourn would have been a good pick, and we are going to see at least Sojourn coming out now. Kiriko was a really good pick in general, being able to use those kunai, get some range damage, but also get some range healing that doesn't require as much effort as something like Moira does. Moira's kind of more of an active healer. She really needs to dish out damage as much as she does need to heal, and her orbs can only regenerate so fast. So we're gonna see how it goes for them. So maybe defense is gonna do a little bit better here. Again, relatively similar loadouts right now. Still rocking the Hazard. King switch up we're gonna see is one of the little supports here, and one of Rue's DPS. They're already touching site. Essentially already cleared it, actually. You can see the rooms are just spread out, they're way too spread out. Whenever you start seeing everyone diving for sight, the best thing to do is try to get your team. So at least some of that damage should maybe be mitigated. When you get spread out like this, just ask for it up one time. That's exactly what I'm saying. Testing takes a lot. Is going to get the trade up though, but by the time, you know, the DPSs aren't getting back to them, I mean, the chokehold's already on that point. With the Hazard, these walls are just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. See Levi try to get a little bit of block off here. They're already halfway captured, maybe a quarter away from being able to take this one away as well. They are getting a lot of resistance with the death. Doing really good here. So the Root's doing really good, pushing UWG back, but that first tick already was like a really big chink in the armor. So, you know, you really gotta, you know, lock in a little bit here, because they didn't even get two ticks on site. Or pretty close to it, not quite. UWG has to pass that line to be able to get there. Dami instantly, beautiful pick there, instant support. Bomb, but you guys doing really well pushing back here. Oh, you got that Kiriko coming out there though. You got Kitsune rush. Ooh, good pick there. Good opportunity. Kind of slow him down. Stop that Kitsune rush. Levi's gonna pick up one. Karma's gonna be down. Levi picks up another one with Zeph. And this one is going to be over. Easy peasy. I wouldn't even really say that was that easy, but oh man. These games are going fast. How long? 45 minutes! It's been for 45 minutes. So game 2. Again, probably one of the fastest round times thus far. NACE. 10-minute game? Less than 10 minutes? I don't know how to feel about that. Less than 10 minutes. But alright then, well, I mean, hey, I'll take a break where I can get it. So UWG 2-0 right now against Kansas City. I mean, overall, like, okay, if we're taking a little bit more of an analysis perspective on this for just a minute, right? So we've already seen that the Wolves are very astute at setting the pacing right now. Pretty much on the first map, it was pretty solid. Their whole goal was to get there and then lock it down from the inside out. So that's good, because that's what you want on Control. But on Hybrid, right, both teams went for the same setup, pretty much arguably the same characters, main difference, again, being the supports and the DPSs. So on the support side of things, Ana being able to heal from as far away as she was a beautiful tactic, because if they're sitting here just going constantly for brawling and for diving, which is exactly what they were doing, the main issue you're looking at here is that their whole thing is up close and personal and melee range, which means that with Ana hanging out in the back line, just way far back behind the team, she's able to do plenty of healing and use all of her abilities from a distance where none of that fighting is getting to her. Compare that to how the Roos were playing their supports, which is really up close, right in the fight with them face to face, and in general, it was just way too close. So it allowed for them to pick up with our Tracer, and it really was just, a little bit of a DPS diff when it came to Tracer versus Tracer. But the main struggle was keeping their supports alive, and they just fell short, and every time their supports went down, your dive is pretty much ruined. So overall, though, something that they can fix, but we are going into Game 3, which could lead us into match point with the Wolves taking a 3-0 victory home today. But we'll have to see how it goes in this next map, and we will be going to Watch Point Gibraltar. Probably, again, one of my favorite maps. It's very pretty. It has a lot to talk about. So this one's gonna be Escort. So in general, right? When we talk about Watch Point Gibraltar, right? The hardest points that we need to touch on are going to be arguably every stopping point. This map has a extreme amount of long angles and verticality. The amount of verticality this map has is detrimental to skill. We're going to see UWG
Looks like the best team in
a pretty common strategy that they've been using. You got Pepper, Rock and Widowmaker, which Widow, again, specifically, again, as long as we're talking about, but also the verticality, being able to get a lot of angles down, which makes it a little bit easier for headshots, because
where outcomes are uncertain.
we all play
But
Overwatch.
I
Most of
am
the stuff
certain that we're
just sitting
going to
here jumping
have
up
a
and down and
great
moving stuff
time.
right. And between Zio or Pepper, there shouldn't be too much of that. But Dax being able to pick up a lot of damage, but also allow for some of that healing, keep yourself safe. And then you got Pesky again, long angles, but that big dive, good start to them picking up Dax really early on. See here, Pesky was trying to do a little bit of healing for the team there, keep this team in the fight, which they did. That Zio, they'll have to fall back to try and get back to his teammates here. Keep them up in the fight here. And it really is going to, like, a lot of this is going to be a little bit on Pepper to hit a lot of these shots here. Good jump there by Levi, but it's going to be a trade there. Hot takes out Pesky, and again, sitting here, really need to start looking at a lot of this damage we're doing here. And because all the while, they're sitting up here fighting for this vertical. You got the Gameroos already starting to make their move, already getting about halfway to the first one here. battling it out there with Hazard, which is a really hard thing to try to win. He's gonna hop down right into the line of fire. Seth is gonna take out Zio. You got Pestle trying to do a little bit of work here. Misses a little bit, misses the sleep dart though onto Hazard. That's gonna be really rough. Trying to dish out a little bit of damage here. Got Winston, Levi trying to hop in here. Save a little bit of face, which they will. But all the while, you got the Gameroo setting up here for their next push up here. But for the time being, it's gonna be stopped. The card is stopped. About at the midpoint of the tunnel right now. You got Levi Hazard duking it out right now, but Levi has the health advantage on Hazard. Really just, dish out whatever damage you can, waste a lot of time here, which is exactly what they're doing. Get to the 2-minute mark here. Good. Hits that ult there. That's gonna boost Levi. He does have a ult of his own. This is that start again. So Levi's gonna go ahead and try to use his ult. Just get rid of this Hazard. The Hazard is way too mobile. Hopping over. We got a wonderful gymnastic class from both Levi and from Zeb. Essentially pole vaulting over each other back and forth. But did not realize this was the tumble zone.
No one can
1 minute and 25 seconds now. UWG still being able to hold them where they're at. Ooh, good shots there by Pepper. Which was a headshot, just a little bit. He's aiming for it. There you go. Hits Lucio. Hits Seth. Looking for a third one. He's not gonna find one, but those were two very well-placed shots. Good work there. Gamerers again having to fall back with Seth, pick up their teammates again, because two supports, always better than one.
stand up straight.
As we now are below the 60-second mark, 50 seconds to be exact. They're still struggling to get to this first point here. And honestly, I think the Gamerers are maybe focusing a little too much on the engagement and not enough on the actual point, and you do see one of them is going to be able to touch it and keep it moving forward here. So UWG has to kind of realize, hey, the point's moving forward, guys. What are we doing? We got Lucio just trying to hang around the point right here. Gonna drop me. Pepper picks up one. Haunt is going to bring out Dragon. He's going to take out West. Honestly, I'm not really sure if that quite yet. They could have held on to a little bit longer. But you're going to see Zio also pop Dragon Blade. For some reason. It's not a decent damage, but I don't think it's going to be very strong. Haunt takes out Pepper. Levi looking for Zeb. Zio takes out
This ends
Lucio
now.
and Haunt at the same time. And again, UWG is just putting the Moon Knights in a really, really hard position right now. With 0. And, you don't really have to look at the scoreboard for that one, gang. That is a unfortunate big old fat goose egg. So UWG just has to get it past the point that the Rue Knights were at when the time ran out. You know, overall, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how the Rue Knights actually really plan to come back from this one. So it's pretty poised for the Wolves to take home a 3-0 victory right now on Gibraltar. But I will not put it past Kansas City quite yet, you know, it's not over till
Do you ever mix
the
milk
big monkey scientist
Regularly. The repetitive patterns bring
sings,
peace to my mind.
eats peanut butter, you know, whatever
We
you
can
want
hear
to
the
call
snow
it.
fortunes.
What was that? What are we watching? What are you doing? Just have a casual conversation. He's an NPC. He's doing the words right now. So, getting started here. UWG now on the attack. 355. Reinhardt really solid. You see a lot of different things here. You got Levi switching up the tank, Pepper switching up the stacks, pulling out Lucio again. They switch to Symmetra for these teams. Now, UWG is known for Symmetra teams. We've seen it pretty much over the last few semesters. That's kind of UWG's bread and butter, is using that teleports to get behind the enemy. Sit there and put pressure on 2 minutes, but Steph is going to take out Pepper, holding on to sight. Got multiple battles. Honestly, this is not the best place to put that, but what they can. Dax survives with the skin of his teeth. Trying to just ooh, good dash there by Levi. Pick up Weston. One out there from Hans. Connected to pretty much anyone besides maybe a little bit of Dax. But it doesn't matter. Again, you gotta focus on the site. The site was what they need to focus on, and UWG walks away with it 3-0. Pepper is gonna get some 2 beautiful headshots. Let's go ahead and get the single ding. And what's that? The ding number 2. Call Michael the dingster. But that will wrap it up here for us at UWG Esports. GG to the Rue Knights. And UWG will take their second victory home of the week. 3-0 with, again, your matchups here with a 2-0 and then both escorts falling a bit short. So that'll do it here for us at UWG Esports. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same channel, for our Valorant team. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.